You can do it like you can ask me a question about it. That's fine.
I can tell you like what you do. You smile a lot when you talk about work.
You also know me that I smile quite a lot.
Fair. I quite like the grandma reference. I like the thought of someone's grandma being sat in all your interviews just like shaking her head or nodding. Should we put your Crown FPL competition into your community stuff?
You can do it like you can ask me a question about it. That's fine.
We can start with it if you want, because from content I get from you folks and we work with, so much of it is community work, charity initiatives, probably not disproportionately in a bad way, but probably disproportionate. Like, you don't sit there and be like, we're really good at our work. You do, but more often it's what you're getting yourselves involved with community. So it feels like maybe a fitting place to kick off. Like, why is that so important to the business? Where did that evolve or come from? Has it always been that way?
I think we've always done it. I think we've always cared about the areas that we work in. Steve's passionate about supporting Chasetown and the Burntwood area. So we've been involved with the football club for 15 years. We've sponsored the first team. If there's a local school in an area where we've got a scheme, why not go and do something for the school if we can? So we do a lot around the Midlands region. We're trying to push it so our office in Astley and in the Northwest, they engage with local schools and things like that. At the end of the day, whilst we can do something, then we think that we should do something, you know? There's so many charities out there as well. So we have annually we ask the staff to put forward some suggestions for charity of the year. So that gets voted on earlier in the year. So we try and do a couple of events for each charity that we do. And it's a good incentive for staff to then get some money put back into that particular charity. This year we raised £1,600 for it's Catherine Hospice in Stoke, which is where Byron Mothershaw, one of our operations managers, his granddad had end of life care, and so we raised some great money, and they're so grateful when you go and present checks to these places. They're so grateful for the money that you raise, so it's really important to us.
Are they like volunteer run as well, or something?
Yeah,
like they're not NHS affiliated often, hospices,
no,
are they, or at all?
No, some of the bigger ones have got funding, but a lot of them work off their own funding stream, so they have to appeal to people that want to raise money through charities and things like that. So it's really important what we do, and whilst we can do it, then we do it, and it's good.
Well, I mean, I'd asked you about it sort of already, because one of the first things I remember, it must be years ago now, turkeys at Christmas. Is that still going?
Absolutely, yeah. Every year. Steve started it originally, a bit of an Oliver Twist thing, giving a turkey out at Christmas. We give every employee a turkey at Christmas. So a couple of days before, we both from Burntwood office and Astley office, we give out turkeys and a bottle of wine to every employee in the company. There was that. And they're big old turkeys as well. You know, they're not little ones. They're big old.
Feed you till New Year.
It's huge. So no, it's something that we do, and people, new starters, then they get the request early December to say, do you want a turkey or not? Because some people will be away, so they don't need them. And they say, what do you mean? You're going to give me a turkey for Christmas? What we also do is we have 10 local families as well. So there's a company in Burntwood which is in touch with families in the area that are not doing so well, and we're able to give 10, not only the turkeys, but we buy the vegetables, stuffing, gravy, everything. And so we're able to support 10 families at Christmas who wouldn't usually have a Christmas dinner. So we do loads of stuff, and loads of stuff that we don't necessarily tell people that we do, and that's fine. You know, it's I'm sure other companies do similar sorts of things, but it's something we've always done and we continue to do it. So why not?
Yeah, why not? There was that, and I always remember getting the story every year about doing the village Christmas lights on the tree. Is that still going as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a roundabout in Burntwood where we put the local Rotary Club put the Christmas tree up, and then there was a time actually when Steve Jones was the electrician who was wiring the lights up. Now, thankfully, we've got one of our electricians to do it safely and all coordinated. But we put the traffic management out on the night. We put the lights on the tree, and it gets lit up at the beginning of December every year. So yeah, absolutely, still happens today.
Yeah, amazing. You. People's obviously a a theme in this as well. Like you just said, even as an extension of your charity community work, it comes back to your people, like Byron and causes that might be important. I guess the people is obviously a very strong value to you.
I think, and I think people watching will say it's hard in our industry and organisation to keep people and retain staff. So I think treating people well, giving them tools to look after themselves and their families is, hopefully it keeps them working for Crown Highways longer and down the line, and it pays dividends. So we've got a number of, whether it will be giving them a turkey at Christmas, we give death in service to every employee. We've got pension advice that we give people. We've got a system from Perk Box, which we're allowed, people get perks and they get discounts off of superstores, holiday vouchers, sausage rolls at Greg's, all that kind of stuff. Right down to health screening. In January, we gave every man over 40 a PSA test for prostate cancer. And that's made a difference where some people's readings may not have been clear and green, but now they're on a journey to look after themselves and sort themselves out for the future. So, but yeah, it's great. It's great to be able to do those things, but we want to keep staff for as long as possible. We want staff to be happy. I'm sure a happy workforce is a better workforce out on the street. So, yeah, it's something we're proud to do.
You have got a lot of people that have been there for what I would say is a long term now. Obviously, we see each other at events or shows and stuff like that, and from our point of view, it's generally saying hello to faces that we've seen before. It's not a new, 6-8 people every time we turn up every year or two. So I guess that's probably rubber stamping that's working.
I like to think so. Yeah, we have got a kind of a low staff turnover. I think one of the things when I first came in 10 years ago was really given the blank piece of paper to say, look, we want Crown Highways to grow, be where it is today, and it's up to you what you do, what decisions you make on what staff we're going to keep, what staff we need to go out and get, those kinds of things. And the team that we've got now in place has taken the 10 years to grow, and I couldn't be happier with the people that we've got within the business now. They represent Crown the way that we need them to. They're collaboratives in their behaviours. We've got the right culture among the people that we've got. So yeah, we need to retain the people that have put us where we are and continue to do so.
10 years goes quick though, doesn't it? I remember when you started.
I know, and your photo, the original photo that you took the 10 years ago is on, I think it's probably my LinkedIn photo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, 10 years seems to have flown by,
We do a new one while you're here if you want.
Fine.
Blue shirt though.
Yeah, I'll do it. It was, 10 years has been, I got the opportunity, and I'm so glad that I took it and it's worked out the way it has. It was a random conversation with Steve at a famous Crown Highways Christmas party that I was invited to. I made an off-the-cuff remark about perhaps you need someone to go and run your business for you. You want to go out and play a little bit more golf. And I was pretty drunk at the time. I think you probably had a few drinks as well. And he said, come and see me Monday morning. Drove up to Birmingham Monday morning to have a chat with him, and that was it really.
Was that really
how
it started?
He was absolutely serious, and he said, yeah, let's do this. Came in as general manager to start with, and then 3 or 4 years later, ended up being managing director, and here we are today. So it's been absolutely fantastic. So to get given the opportunity, massively thankful, and but I've been able to grab it with 2 hands, and there's been times where it's been pretty difficult. But we got through those times. Early doors, we had a few problems with some big contracts that we were really struggling on. We had to look at what we do and where we pitch ourselves in the market in terms of what contracts do we go for big major projects. Major projects are hard to deal with. We found early doors, so we moved ourselves away from that arena, started winning more work for lesser valued contracts, doing a good job, no rework, getting out and making a bit of money. So, and we've kind of done that ever since. Now we're in a position to take on those bigger contracts again because we've got the right people in place. But when we first started, probably didn't have the right people in place to manage the size of schemes that we had at the time, and we struggled. So we've learned our lessons, I think, and we've grown ever since.
I say it's a long, it's quite on paper, it's quite a long time to then come full circle. 10 years to go away, like reevaluate, rebuild, try something else. Like there's a bit of a lesson in patience, I guess, there.
Yeah, and I think individually we probably rebuilt each department within our business, whether it would be procurement, finance, the civils department, the lighting department. I think the trick is catching it early enough, not to just keep doing something and having the same results. If you want to change your results and maybe grow and be better, sometimes you have to scale back a little bit and take a real look at it, and let's not do the things that we were doing before, things that were costing us money. Let's strip things back and start again. And that's what we've done with a couple of the departments, and it's really worked and it's paying dividends now. So,
when you mentioned before about like having the right people, the right culture, as the person that sort of sits at the top of the tree day to day, dare I say, what does culture actually mean to you? And then how did you go about trying to instill that? Because I think that gets said a lot, culture, and you know, you mentioned like sporting heroes in some of the Q&As we've just done. I'm the same. Like you hear it all the time in like other fields of interest, but it's really hard to put a definition on. I think, you know, I've probably got my version, you've probably got yours. Like, what does that mean to you?
I think I've always had a thing that generally, if I can go and have a pint with someone, I get on well with them. If I look at them or I talk to them in a conversation, I think, oh, it's a bit difficult. He's not the right person for me. Probably wouldn't have a drink with them. And it's the same when you're interviewing someone. You get that feeling. Or a lot of the people that are key within our business at the moment, we've worked with in the past, so we were able to maybe go and get them or make them an offer. But we wouldn't have done that unless we wanted that person and that character. And Steve Jones has always had a thing to say that if you're going to employ someone and you sit in front of them in an interview and you're not willing to put them in front of your grandmother, if your grandmother doesn't like them, then they shouldn't be working for Crown Highways. We don't want characters or whoever it might be that if you're not going to do that, then they shouldn't work for Crown Highways. So it's all about the people, personalities, someone that's willing to work, willing to learn, go that extra mile, just fit in, you know. Some people can be difficult. No business needs those sorts of people.
I quite like the grandma reference. I like the thought of someone's grandma being sat in all your interviews, just like shaking her head or nodding when you finish.
It's been a running joke for many years, you know, and it's absolutely true, and we laugh about it. But if they're not the right character, they're not going to fit. It can only provide problems. So we need people that are respectful. They follow a lot of this. And we'll talk about safety later, but a lot of this can boil down to safety. It's the right attitude. If they haven't got the right attitude to life, then they probably haven't got the right attitude to safety whilst they're on site. And that for us could be fatal, as people know across the industry. So it's really important to get the right person, character, attitude, definitely.
Working on the assumption you get recruitment right all the time, that's great. If you had to kind of keep breeding that culture though within day to day, like for example, I know you had a stand down day in January, for example. There's an opportunity to get everyone together and you can touch on those kind of things, but that's one day. How does it look day to day? Or is that a really unfair question?
No, it's not an unfair question at all. So we do the stand down, but we do stand down twice a year, where I stand up and I give people an opportunity to ask any questions they want to, raise any suggestions, any problems. Our last stand down was on the 7th of July this year, and we opened up a Slido, which is a portal to ask questions. You can ask them anonymously, or you can put your name to the questions. And we opened up that Slido poll a week earlier than our stand down day. So we had 120 plus people in the room. And I responded, or me and the team responded to every Slido question that was asked on that week and that morning. So from them, if they want to ask a question, I like to think that my workforce knows that we'll answer it open and honestly. And you know what, if the answer to the question's no, the question's no. You've got to be big enough to say no. And that's probably where we are with it. I mean, you can't be more open and honest. Each individual as well as an emergency contact case where they keep all their cards and their portfolios and all their ID. On the back of that pad has got my personal mobile number on it, and the card says, if you're unsure about what you're going to do, stop. And you can phone your operations manager, your supervisor, transport manager if you've got a problem with the vehicle. But ultimately, if you've got a problem you want to talk to someone, my personal number is on the back of that card, and every employee at Crown Highways has got that. So if you're not going to lead from the top, then what do your people think about you? I'll never shy away from a question if someone asks me a question.
Yeah, that's great. I've never heard that before. You're unique, Mike.
maybe. Look, and people do phone me, and I'll talk to them.
Sure, yeah.
I'll talk to them. I'd love going into the depot when you might pass someone in the car park, and I'll say hello. The one instance was a few years ago. We had a new plant fitter in the yard in Burntwood, and I was coming in the office one day, and I said hello to him in the car park. I asked him how he was. He was a new employee. How he was getting on. And then a week later, one of the guys in the office came to me and said, he came up to him and said, I can't believe he's just spoken to me. I've been in businesses where management don't speak to anybody. I'm like, well, if you can't spend 2 seconds talking to someone, saying hello to someone, then what's the point?
Yeah, I agree. I think historically it probably was just a bit of them and us, wasn't there, between senior hierarchy and
possibly
boots on the ground.
But I'd like to think that it's not just me, it's anyone on my management team could walk around the office, walk around the depot, and they'd have the same attitude and they'd talk to someone. It doesn't take 2 seconds to say hello to somebody, does it?
No. I guess that all buys into when you were just saying before about like being there 10 years now and sort of, I don't know if regrouping is a fair term, but reevaluating, regrouping, rebuilding to now being back at a spot to be competently challenging for bigger contracts, like say, all that stuff buys in, doesn't it? That age your development over the years.
I can't sit here and say I know every one of my employees' names and I know their wives' names or girlfriends' names. I don't, but there's some characters that and you get to know and things like that. So I do know a fair few of them, but I don't think anybody could sit where I am and say that they know all of their employees.
I guess the point is, if you walked past any of them in the car park, though, you'd have the same 2 seconds, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And to be fair, if I don't know them, I might shake their hand and say, "Who are you?" or "Where are you working? Where are you working this week?" And then the answers that they give me, I can work out probably which department they work for, who they work, where they are, and that kind of stuff. So it's 2 seconds, isn't it? And someone said to me many years ago, "A friend is a stranger you've not met yet." It takes 2 seconds to introduce yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. That development that I sort of mentioned before, what does that 10-year, it's quite, I guess it's quite, I couldn't have put a timestamp on the date we did that first article about you joining. I wouldn't have known it was 10 years if you didn't say it, but it's quite a nice bracket to look back at. Like, what are the biggest changes, I guess, in that 10-year period for you, probably internally and I guess externally as an industry? What are the biggest changes you've seen?
I guess within the last 10 years, within the industry.
Let's start within the industry and then we'll move.
Okay, we'll start with the industry. Okay. So industry changes. I think one of the first meetings I remember representing Crown was in the Area 9 Alliance, and I was the SER, Senior Executive responsible for the Crown in the Area 9 region, and I felt, I went to these meetings and they were really collaborative, and people talk to each other, and you may be in a competitor in some environments, but they were happily sharing things, and that kind of opened my eyes to think, oh, maybe this is a bit different. I've come from a big corporate organisation that they might say they might be collaborative, but they don't. There's nothing like this, And I think my grounding in Area 9 and the similar relationship that we had in Area 3, I really think that was a change that I saw within the industry up until now, where some of those relationships we made in Area 9, Area 3, they're lifelong friendships now. They are. they're personal relationships. And if you've got a problem with someone, you pick the phone up. You know, you won't write them a snotty email. You'll pick the phone up and say, look, you'll give them a nice little poke now, wouldn't you? You won't get War and Peace on an email. We kept our relationship even after Area 9 finished, and we joined with R&C Williams, who are a great little company similar to us, who are a good collaborative nature amongst them. We do loads of stuff together. Again, a lot of things for charity. Birmingham Children's Hospital, we raised some money for Acorns. We've done some walks with them. Really good guys. So I think from an industry point of view, collaboration is very much improved, I think, over that 10 years. There's still some way to go. Some people think they do collaboration, but they don't really do collaboration. They do it because the contract says that they should.
I think competitive advantage is something that is really difficult to not even let go, but maybe to perceive. Oh, we're gonna let that go.
Yeah, but what I would say though is from a Area 9, Area 3 collaboration was across a whole range of services, a whole range of diverse companies. Where collaborations worked within our industry, us and McCann's. So McCann's would be our competitors on many jobs across the scale, but the LED installations for National Highways across the Northwest and the Midlands, I don't think that scheme could be achieved without the collaboration with McCann's. And we've shared things, we've shared learnings, good things, bad things. We've worked really well together. And I think so that shows even within industries, we can collaborate, and when it works really well. And I think we should do more, but it takes the right two companies to make that happen.
I think that's the thing that even in our sort of day-to-day around content and working with clients, we might see something or know something like, that's great, get a video made, or if you've got a video or whatever, let's and they're like, no, we don't really want to show people we do it. And to some degree I get it, but I'm more, I guess, like you. I just think you've done it, be proud of it, it's great.
Yeah. Well, two things really. I think when there's a major contract coming around the corner, so whether it will be an SDF tender or a framework tender of some sort, people do become less collaborative because they don't want to, all of their USPs and all of the things that they want to win the next contract, they can't really show everybody. So people do keep some of it behind,
that makes sense.
which is absolutely fine. But I think the thing that you said there about one of the first things we did when I came in 10 years ago was get you guys on board. Because we do a lot of great things and we don't tell anybody about them. So what I was really keen to do was have a better social media presence, have a better website, which you guys cleaned up for us and have managed ever since. But I think the use of LinkedIn, so many people come to me and say, God, Crown Highways were massive. They're always posting on LinkedIn. Every time I open LinkedIn, there's a post from Crown Highways. And I think that's been the push about how good that we've been from a content point of view, whether it's us posting, we've got a communications team now that manage all that. We've got a program of when we're going to release things and how it is all going to work. Whereas in the past, people do things really well, but don't sell themselves, don't tell anybody about it. Well, it's a wasted opportunity, isn't it? If you do something well and you want to get your name out there and you want to grow bigger, why not tell more people? And social media is a great way of doing that.
I think that's where it benefits you though, that you do so much charity stuff, community stuff, because we all sort of in our own businesses, we all have to sit and say, this is what we do, we're really good at it, you should use us, give us a call, pretty much.
Yeah.
But actually, that other side to the business that's not necessarily driven towards winning any work, it's just like, this is us, this is who we stand for, these are the people that we help, this is what we like. And it's variety then at the end of the day, isn't it? It's not constantly drilling the same thing, just looking to get a phone call and trying to sell you wares. It actually starts to show a bit of personality as a business then.
I think so, and you need to use the data about what kind of posts work and what does work, what doesn't work. And I know over the years we've had some conversations about what type of content works and doesn't work. Did we have 2 or 3 years of the advent calendar at Christmas?
Yeah.
That wound a few people up, that it jingle belled for 25 days, and it was a bit tedious. But hey, people got to see Crown Highways every day, didn't they?
Yeah.
So as annoying as it might have been, it did the job, didn't it?
You were the advent calendar people for
Well,
a few years, weren't you?
We've stopped that. Maybe we'll bring that back. I'll probably get told off if we bring that back. But that's life.
For us though, it's nice that you really have embraced all that stuff, and I think it's probably fair to say you seem pretty popular across channels now, just from reactions I see and bits and pieces on the stuff that you post. I think it's
There is talk about us having a Crown Highways TikTok account, but I'm not sure about that yet. We'll see. I think we've got an account, but I'm not sure we posted anything. So we'll see about that. The other big change, I think, in the last 10 years, obviously the use of technology, and whether that is technology with safety in terms of maybe service avoidance and those sorts of things. Some of the machinery that we buy nowadays is much more advanced than it ever used to be. Whether it will be the facility to manage your vehicles, your fleet. We've got over 100 vehicles now, so the management of that is pretty key, and we use technology to trace and to capture that sort of data. Our guys are on site with iPads, telephones, talking interactively, sending forms in electronically. I think a lot of that, Crown Highways was very much a paper-based system 10 years ago, and we've tried to get as many of those forms replaced as we possibly can. If we can do them electronically, then it works out well, whether it be the commercial team needing the evidence to build up a price or an application or an invoice. So that's been a big change, I think, in the last 10 years.
Internally?
People, I would say.
Yeah.
We started, when I first joined, we had a senior management team. There's a couple of those people left, and it was my job really to make the big decisions. And if someone's not right for the business, then it's a harsh reality, but you've got to make those decisions. So we've done that over the years, and there's been senior people within the organisation that are no longer with us, and these things happen. But to progress and move forward, you need to have the right people in the business. So we've had people that have gone, we've had people that have come back. Key appointment was Steph Smith, in terms of the quality and the systems and the processes and the policies that have been put in. Really taken us onto another level in terms of how we work with our clients, how we work with National Highways. Pre-SDF, we hadn't really worked directly with National Highways. So the requirements of working with National Highways, whether you're a little old Crown Highways, which I'm not allowed to say anymore, or you're a tier 1 organisation, they want the same information, they want the same amount of paperwork. And Steph has really just transformed the way that we deal with tier 1 organisations and National Highways. And a massive reason why we are where we are now is because of the work that Steph's done over the last 4 or 5 years that she's been with us. And so definitely people, I think, is the main factor, I would say, within Crown. Ethos about vehicles. We used to run vehicles into the ground. We used to buy a vehicle, and if it probably did 300,000 miles, but you're giving guys crap equipment, poor vehicles. It spent more time in the garage than it needed to. We were spending so much money on repairs. We then had to hire a vehicle in to take that one away. So to have now a replacement scheme or not keep a vehicle for more than 3 or 4 years give guys a new vehicle. They look after it, give them good tools, give them good equipment, give them new grab wagons. I mean, some of these wagons are costing £200,000 plus. But you give them the right kit and the right tools, they'll look after it. But we had definitely, over the first 3 or 4 years, we had vehicles that were off the road more than they were on the road. You can't operate when you've got guys going out at night and you're on the there was one instance, I think, on the M62 where a Hiab had broken down in lane 3, and it needed to open for rush hour, and we had a Hiab with his legs stuck down and we couldn't get the legs in. I mean, that sort of thing doesn't happen anymore.
No.
And that's just the reality of where we were and where we are now.
Yeah.
But you've got to put your hands up sometime and say, yeah, that was a problem. But I'm hoping now the maintenance regimes we've got in place on the vehicles that we've got, the fact that the vehicles are so much newer and in better nick, it makes all the difference.
When you said, just to scoot back, I didn't want to interrupt you. When you said about people that might not be with the business anymore, and that kind of is what it is. Obviously, without details, but how do you approach, I guess, as MD, how do you approach those difficult conversations? Even today, it might not be with senior management or whatever. How do you go about doing that? Because, to me, you give me enough banter, but you've always been friendly, nice. Is it a difficult conversation in that same way, or do you have to kind of adapt how you are for that kind of thing?
I think I'm a pretty relaxed person, as you know. I might have this persona of being relaxed, all that kind of stuff, but when you need to make a decision and you've got to take some action, then I've got to grow a pair of balls, and I've got to have the hard discussions and the hard meetings, and and sometimes it's not just a case of one conversation. It can be many conversations. It can take 2 or 3 months to iron out some of these situations that have happened to us over the last 10 years. But you can't go in. I can't be in my position and not have those difficult conversations. It's not always rosy. We're not always in a fantastic position. I'm sure that's the same with every managing director across the country, whether it's Highways or it's whatever. We've got to make those tough decisions. Got to put my big boy pants on and go on. But we're a team, we make these decisions together. Myself and Steve will sit down and look at the problem situation that we're in, and if it's the best thing for Crown Highways, then we need to do it. It's not about individuals, it's not about friendships, it's not about what someone's done in the past. It's about if it's right for Crown Highways to make a decision for the future, however hard a decision it is, people will see within our organisation that we've had the balls and we've done it, and put for the betterment of the company.
I guess that's where having a number of employees that do stay long term probably benefits from that as well, because if there are situations that arise where tough conversations have to be had, I guess if it is for the betterment of the business, it's for the betterment of the rest of the people in the business as well, isn't it? And
like you say, the grass isn't always greener. We always say it. There's people I've already said about some of the benefits that you get when you work with Crown Highways, whether all kinds of stuff. If then you want more, then maybe you need to look somewhere else. It's we do so much. Well, I think we do so much for our employees. I like to think we do so much for our employees that people will think twice about company B sitting over there. Would they get the same love and attention that they get when they work for Crown Highways? Well, some people come in and think, yeah, I'd get a better deal somewhere else. I can do this, I can do that. Well, you won't get everything else that you get working for Crown Highways, and that's the long and the short of it, really.
The other thing you said, who tells you off for saying little old Crown Highways?
I think it's probably something that I've said over the years. When we had our ups and downs, and probably 4 or 5 years ago when we were a lot smaller, so we're double the size we were 4 or 5 years ago, we used to always say, little old Crown Highways has won this contract. First example of that probably was getting on the CWF framework in the Northwest. It was our first time we'd ever been on a National Highways contract working directly for National Highways. And little old Crown Highways were working for National Highways with all these bigger companies, perceived bigger companies, on a framework. We were suddenly a tier 1 organisation. That's when it really hit home that the sky's the limit. You can do what you want. You can do as much as you can. And then to get on to win 8 contracts on SDF1, 4 technology and 4 lighting was amazing, and that elevated us again to the next level. So I'm not allowed to say little old Crown Highways, because we're not.
Because when you said it to me before, we'd had a conversation once about it, and I'd been to your building plenty of times, and normally I'll arrive, I'll probably come to see you, so I'd hang a left upstairs, and that's where your office is. I'd been in the yard, and I'd been over across the road in the training, but I'd never actually been to the belly of the beast downstairs until we were coming to your meeting room that time. And I'm walking past other offices and meeting room, and people at the back, and I just thought, I hadn't probably 8-9 years into knowing you.
Yeah.
I had no idea there were that many people. And you said to me, you're like, we're pretty small. And I was like, you are not like small.
I can see.
It's just not.
Well, maybe. I think the Burntwood site is brilliant, really. I mean, like you say, we've got the head office. We've had to build additional space for people. For the commercial team now, got a purpose-built office down the bottom of that corridor. We've had to buy next door, which used to be Travis Perkins, which has doubled the size of our yard. Rightly say, we've got the training school, which is another purpose-built building where we deliver all our training. We've had to expand the facilities of our top yard where all our vehicles are stored during the day or overnight. We've recently moved from our Manchester Trafford Park office to a new building in Astley, just outside Manchester. Double the office size, double the depot size, double the car park size. So yes, we've got bigger, but we need the space. So it is what it is.
Who do you need the space for? And I only say that because in your 10 years, have you got, let's say, the same departments with more people in them, or as part of that journey now to, being a tier one in some degrees, have you had to bring new departments into the business to facilitate things that when you landed as general manager just weren't there?
I think so. It's the commercial office, the purpose-built commercial office is there really because we found it so. I mean, recruitment we haven't really spoken about, but so difficult to get the right people. So we dipped very heavily into the apprenticeship market. And so we got 4 or 5 apprentice QSs, and we've housed them all in one office down the bottom there. And we didn't have any space for them because, like you say, there's lots of little tunnels in Crown Highways with little offices here, but there wasn't the space to have them all collectively together. So we've had to do that. And that's the same as we've got bigger and we've delivered more contracts in the Astley office in the Northwest. We've now got an extra 3 project managers. We've got a nighttime manager. We've got supervisors all over the place. We've got more operations managers. We have just got more people. But yard space, the vehicles are bigger. There's more of them. There's more lighting columns. LED replacements. We replaced 3,000 units in the Northwest 24 months ago. Last year we did another 3,000 in the Midlands. Potentially we've got another 4,000 this year across the Midlands belt, Area 9 and Area 7. All of those heads need to be stored somewhere. So you need just naturally need more space. In Burntwood we had a little garage. So one of the ideal things for buying Travis Perkins next door was they had a massive garage down in the back to service their vehicles. So we tripled the size of the garage facilities, so now we can do more maintaining of our own vehicles on site. So we can ramp up some of the bigger vehicles and do those 6-week checks and things like that. So we've just naturally grown in both Northwest and the Midlands. So it's just growth.
Coming back around to when you said about struggling to find the right people or good people, I'll come back onto apprenticeships in a minute because I think it's interesting. Why do you think it is so difficult to find like a good fit? Why is recruitment so difficult?
Because if you take the departments we work in, technology engineers. I grew up as a technology engineer, and a lot of my peers who I grew up with, let's say in the Southwest technology team, are now got jobs like I've got. So they're no longer on the road. And those companies that when I left didn't replace me with the next line of technology engineers. So they're very few and far between. So all of our competitors and us are all fighting really in the same pool for people and engineers, which means that we've got to pay those guys more to stay with Crown Highways than they would to go and get some around naturally. So technology engineers, very sparse. Highways electricians, exactly the same. These people can command lots of money because they know that there's not many of them out there. It's not like a domestic electrician that would wire up a house. A lighting circuit and everything else is completely different and a different skill set. A lot of people will come into our industry and they come in as a lighting person. You stick them on the M6 and there's 70-mile-an-hour cars hurtling past them, and they work at night and it's raining. It's not a sexy working environment, is it? I mean, I was frightened, I think, as a 17, 18-year-old YTS kid. I was stuck on the M5 down in the southwest and I was doing nights. Frightening seeing cars go past. I say 70, but we know that they probably weren't doing 70.
Yeah.
You have a HGV come down lane 1 when you're sat on the hard shoulder. It's frightening, really, and it's not like working on a housing site, a building site, where you're just building houses, you know. So our industry needs to do more to attract people in, which again, while we talk about the apprentices, is the fact that we've got on-site apprentices. We've got apprentice electricians, apprentice technology engineers, because we know that the people that we need with experience that we've got historically and knowledge that they've already got aren't there anymore. So we have to teach these kids how we want to work and the ins and outs of the Highways business. Is that largely where like Rob comes in, because you've got that training centre? It's not just a case of getting learners from elsewhere on courses. It's actually to sort of help your people. Definitely. I mean, over the years and before we had the training school, we spent so much money on training our guys elsewhere, and you'd lose them for that time. And now to be able to deliver a large percentage of the courses on site to our own staff costs us less money, and we're able now to train other people and other companies within our own facility. I think it's fantastic. The apprentices still need to do their actual skilled training at college, and they get released 1 or 2 days a week to go and do that stuff. So, but a lot of the more manual handling, first aid, safe digging, service avoidance, all of those type courses we do ourselves. So it makes that a lot easier.
And how many apprentices do you currently have, or how many of your current staff were apprentices? We've been lucky enough to retain the majority of the apprentices that we have. So another thing is once the apprentice gets fully qualified, is then keeping them, which is another thing, because once you're qualified, kids nowadays think that they should have the world and they should be paid accordingly. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't work out. So we try to do best by the person, their attitude, how they've got on. Sorry to cut you off. Do they then fall into the same like scarcity loop that you were talking about before in terms of skills? Not as much experience, but now qualified, all of a sudden, let's just say it's highway electrician.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
we're back to square one. We've got to start again. So and that loop's happened, and we say again, the grass is not always greener somewhere else. You know, we're in here for long term. Look at the future order book that we've got. You know, Crown Highways aren't going anywhere. You know, we're going to be on the next contract. We've got the next job. You don't need to go and make your millions over here or do whatever you want to do. If you stay with Crown Highways, you'll have a good working life, you know. But some people want the big bucks quicker, so they get qualified and they go.
It's just funny, you know, it's like a vicious loop, isn't it? Like there's a skills gap, so you go down the apprenticeship route, train people up, get them in, and actually when they're qualified, they fall straight back into the scarcity pool where everyone would take them and
absolutely.
And all the rest of it.
And it doesn't matter to someone else that this person has got no experience. They've got the limited experience of their training period and their qualification, but they give them a role for a full, let's say it's an electrician, a full-time electrician, and they pay them a full-time electrician's wage, but in realistic terms, they've done their training. It's a bit like driving, isn't it? You do your driving lessons to pass your driving test. You don't really learn to drive until you're in your car on your own after the event. It's the same with being an electrician.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really know the way of the world then, but they think they know best, so they go. But on the positive side, we've got lots that have stayed within the business, and we've still got some now going through, and we're now talking about the next wave, if you like. So we've got 6 commercial apprentices currently within the business there's a couple that are very close to graduation. One has just graduated, so congratulations to him. We've got 4 apprentice project managers, 2 in Burntwood, 2 in Manchester. And they are learning just how to manage schemes, how to program properly and plan. So I think that's fantastic, and they're doing really well. And then we've got some electrical apprentices as well. So they're all learning, they're all within the business, and they're doing really well. And we need to keep that up. We interviewed this week for another 2 civils apprentices as well. So civils, we would never have encouraged an apprentice to join the civils team in the past, purely because you don't want a kid coming to site and 9 hours a day sat in a trench digging a hole. But now the structure of the training and the way that the management look after him, and then they give him types of different roles, whether it be working on a traffic signal site, doing a cycleway scheme, doing a technology civils job, which all these, we give them such I think a unique experience of an apprenticeship, working on different things. I think sets them up pretty well, and they enjoy life. So,
how does it compare to when you first came to Crown? Any sign of apprenticeship then?
We didn't have any apprentices. From my memory, we didn't have any apprentices.
Yeah, wow.
And I was very proud. I think we had an influx, and we joined the 5% Club, which is to give you some sort of accreditation to say that 5% of your workforce is either apprentice or graduate. And we're well above the target of 5% at the moment within Crown. So we keep that going, and hopefully we'll keep that going into the future as well.
Do you want to touch on safety, the overriding theme of everything in our sector? What, as a value, it seems a stupid question. Why is it important to you? But we kind of, I guess, got to go there. Like, why is that such a strong value for your business?
Because ultimately, you win your next job you live your next job by doing the work that you've previously done. If you do a job badly, then you're not going to get the next job. If you have any serious health and safety issues, you're probably not going to win the next job either. So, but I think we've just learned over the years that it's so important. And for me, personally, I sit in front of the guys. I don't want to have any accidents. I don't want to see any injuries. It's so important that our guys and girls go home every night to their family. And I don't want Crown Highways to be a reason why they didn't go home to their families, or they were in hospital, they got injured. Disappointingly, earlier this year, we had our first riddle for 7 years. We were over 3 million man hours worked, and we had a riddle where he was off for over 5 days, and that's really disappointing. But we've done investigations, we've learned from it, and hopefully that obviously won't happen again. And now we build to have hopefully that period of success again. But yeah, no, massively important to us, and it's our job to make sure that we provide the guys with the best kit to do the job safely, the best PPE, everything we possibly can, the best policies, procedures, making sure that these guys are having safety briefings before they go out, making sure the work packs have got the right information in. And ultimately, like I said earlier, each one of them has got a card with my name on the back. If they don't feel something's right, then they are empowered to stop. And if they need to stop and phone me and say, look, I'm not happy about doing this, as long as there's a valid reason for them stopping, I'll back them 100% of the way. We don't, if the job's not safe, something's changed. If it's not safe to do it and they're not happy doing it, tell a line manager. If he doesn't listen, tell a supervisor. Doesn't listen, phone me. Not a problem. Because it's so important that these guys go home every night of the week in the same way that they came.
Has there been a sort of big shift, might be unfair, but has there been a big shift or big steps in boosting safety in the 10 years you've been there? Or is it very much, it was already the kind of baseline of everything, it's just changed a bit? Like, how does that look in your time there in terms of safety as priority number one?
I think my background, and having worked for Balfour Beatty for 8 years before I came to Crown, everything I brought in, and I probably tried to do it too quickly. Everything was Balfour Beatty, zero harm. We don't do this, we don't do that, but without really practically thinking about how that fits in with how they work at the moment. Because you can't, one size doesn't fit all. If something's not right for Balfour Beatty, it doesn't mean to say that it's not right for everyone. You know, and we have those things in the industry over the years. But what was the question again?
As you say, has there been a big shift or change in the way safety is, I don't know, perceived, practiced in your 10 years there? I mean, you've probably already mentioned a few things like bringing Steph on board about policy and that kind of thing, and you know, not running vehicles into the ground. So you've probably already mentioned a few things that you just don't do in practice anymore.
I think people have been, the reason safety stand downs very important to me. Stand in front of people, get the right messages out to people, knowing people can stop if they need to, knowing people that if they're not happy with heavy jackets in the summer and it's making them take the jackets off so they're not wearing PPE or something like that, talk to us. You know, we can find an alternative. We can not happy with the gloves, they're not dexterous enough, or they don't protect you from something. We'll have that chat. We're mature enough to take the views of the guys on the road nowadays to have that chat. Previously, we would have been, no, that's your kit, get on with it. And I think that was probably something that significantly changed from where we were.
I think the world's changed a little bit in that way though, hasn't it, as well? Like I think the whole just do it, just shut up and do it culture, I do think is shifting out of quite a lot of things.
There's the industry's had a culture of the blame game as well, in terms of near-miss reporting or safety observations, or whatever your word is within your organisation. But just because you're raising a near-miss or a safety observation, it doesn't mean to say that you're at fault at something, or you're pointing the finger at someone for not doing something right. We're raising an observation to potentially stop something from happening in the future, stop someone from using a bit of PPE, stop someone working in a way that they shouldn't be working, bit of housekeeping, all of those things. But people still, to this day, won't raise a safety observation because they don't want to get someone else in trouble, or they don't want to look weak themselves. So I think amongst the industry, plus Crown Highways, is getting near-miss reporting, safety observation reporting to a level where we may have 150 people out every night of the week. We might get 3 safety observations a night, but we all know that there's other things going on, and just people, and I think that's the same in every industry across highways. We're in so many forums across different areas in the country where it's exactly that. They don't get much near-miss reporting. There must be stuff going on, you know. And if you're not raising these issues, then we can't deal with them. We can't, as a management team, we can't sort out. We can't make improvements. We can't do things. We've got a job at the moment. One of our jobs in Walsall, which is a cycleway scheme. We've got traffic management out at the moment, but we're getting a lot of traffic coming into the closures. So we've sat back and we've redesigned the closures. We've put the diversion route somewhere else, put more signage out, and hopefully it's going to stop the problem. But in the past, we'd probably just gone with it. You know, we wouldn't have reported anything. We'd have carried on with it. So that is a big change, definitely.
Just not being scared to sort of say,
we
might not have got this right first time.
Yeah.
I think I think the who's at fault sort of
I think that's
way of working is a big issue. If people are actually borderline scared to say, oh, I think I might have done this wrong, because no one's doing it wrong on purpose, are they? No one's making errors on purpose.
Absolutely not, and we're not here to blame, but in the past, there are organisations, tier 1 organisations, that would, the safety manager was a big burly guy who walked down the corridor and, why are you reporting that? We can't work in that, can't work that way anymore. But there were, maybe are still people like that out there within different organisations, but it doesn't help. The technology has helped it a lot, because now a near miss or a housekeeping problem, we take a photo. Whereas 10 years ago, we probably didn't have, all of our teams didn't have cameras or camera phones or technology to be able to do that. So whether it would be an inspection and we have to remember as well, safety observations can be positive as well. So we can now capture those moments and we share them, you know, and it's very important to share good practice as much as it is to make sure we nip the bad practices in the bud. we also should be praising positive safety observations as well. So something that we do. We still focus on safety. Within our company, we have a conference call for all line managers every Monday afternoon. I sit on that. We go through all the near misses from the week before. We've got a work safety committee meeting so we have one person from every team, and a few of the managers sit on that. So again, they can bring more things to the party to say, I'm happy about this, not happy about this, can we try this sort of PPE? That gets fed into that forum. Every Friday morning we have a whole management team teams meeting where safety is always the first part of the conversation, whether it will be a safety moment or any key safety issues or anything like that. So it's a massive priority for us within Crown, as it is with other organisations. About the people though, again, it comes down to culture, behaviour and attitudes. If you've got the right people, then hopefully you encourage a good safety attitude as well.
Might be a good time for me to touch on awards for things like that, because that's another thing I receive a lot from you folks. A lot of nominations, a lot of awards. That's building. I think it's fair to say it's becoming quite common across my desk as we continue to work together. How important and how proud are you that that's something that I guess someone like, obviously I know you, but someone like me would sit and say, yeah, that seems quite common to me that you're always nominated and winning awards?
Well, I'd agree with you. So there's a bit of a journey. So from a safety point of view, we've been ROSPA Gold Award for the last 7 years. And that's built on our safety performance, our processes, our policies we've got in place. Pete Benton, Health and Safety Manager, has done a fantastic job in terms of putting it all together and making sure that the guys on the road know what our expectations are, how we manage that side of the business. So we're very proud to be Gold ROSPA Award winners for the 7 years. I think we were silver for a couple of years before that. And I always want to strive to, that's our minimum. We need to be ROSPA Gold. And that really does reward all the hard work that we do on the safety side throughout the years. And then there's other awards, which you say, for the first 5 or 6 years of Crown Highways, we won a lot of local awards. Large Business of the Year in Lichfield, Tamworth and Sutton Coldfield, which as a local organisation, really proud about, fantastic. And a lot of that it's about employing local people, it's about doing things right in the community and giving back. Also about the size of the company and how it's grown and that kind of thing. So really proud to win those awards. We won a similar award for the Greater Birmingham Chamber of Commerce as well, which was a really highlight for us. So we can get our names out there and it's absolutely fantastic. But I challenged the team to win a national award for our industry in highways, because as much as we were winning local awards in Birmingham, we weren't winning an award from National Highways or a Highways award until 2 years ago, where we started picking up awards. We won awards at the ECA Awards, which is Electrical Contractors Association. We won Best Training School across the electrical industry, which we're very proud of. That was probably the first national award that we had won. And then last year we completed a cycleway scheme in Greenway for working for Tarmac and Walsall Council. And it was a fantastic scheme. It built a cycleway for locals through an area which was under-deprived. It was a deprived area with a cycle track going through a council estate, and there was things going on at night. You probably wouldn't want to walk your dog or go for a run, but now there's a 2.5 metre wide path going all the way through this, and it's brung the area up. It's people allowed to take their dog for a walk, they ride their bikes, they take their pushchairs and their kids out there. Really good scheme. So last year we won the Seeker Midlands Award for the best project under £3 million. We won the Active Travel Scheme at the Highways Awards, which for me, growing up, always wanted to win a Highways Award, or it used to be a Highways Magazine Award back in the day. So to be up there and to win that award was absolutely fantastic. And then later on last year, in award season, We won more awards at the Electrical Contractor Association. We won a supply chain award of how we work with some of our supply chain partners, which was pretty good. So it's not just us, but it was bringing other people in the industry. And we won Contractor of the Year under £45 million in value. And again, it highlights how far we've come, really. And we're picking up these contracts in front of these other companies. We've also won awards from collaboration point of view. So I said earlier about the Area 9 and Area 3 collaborative relationships we had. We were part of the team that won the ICW award, so the Institute of Collaborative Working. We picked up awards in the House of Lords for both relationships, both the Area 3 and Area 9, and then Area 9 on its own, which was fantastic. But then even more proud, with our relationship with R&C Williams, we also went back and we picked up an award at the ICW, at the House of Lords, with those guys as well. And that was fantastic. So we've come from a relationship, a collaborative relationship with 20 plus companies, but then to go to that sort of award, and some of the companies we were up against was pretty frightening in terms of size. So ourselves and R&C Williams went to the House of Lords and won that award. It's absolutely fantastic. So I love having Crown Highways in lights and winning awards, going to pick up a trophy. It's great, absolutely great. And we're very grateful for everyone that we receive.
And team delivered on the challenge then?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a PDR target or goal in someone's PDR. Absolutely, 100% delivered. So big tick in the box. It's a recurring theme though, because we just can't sit on our laurels. We'd like to win more awards, and there's other types of awards that I'd like to win as well. So we win awards I'd like to win more awards for safety and some of the environmental stuff that maybe we do as well. So something for the future.
Brought me on actually. I was just going to say, what does that future look like then in pursuit of these other? Obviously not just in the pursuit of other awards, but in order to kind of carry that success on as MD, do you have a 3-month plan, 6-month plan, 5-year plan? Like, what does the future look like for Crown? You mentioned earlier, about apprentices and maybe people with an eye elsewhere thinking the grass is greener.
Yep.
Your sort of order book, if I can call it that, is already rosy.
Yeah.
What does the future look like for you?
I think the future's pretty bright from where we're looking at the moment. We've got another 2 years of the SDF contracts, which have been pretty good for us up to now after quite a slow start. And then this autumn, winter, SDF2 pre-qualification will start coming out. So SDF2 will be a big thing for us to get on. M&R2 will come out at some point as well. So there are large framework contracts in the future that I think we need to get on, because we've been on SDF1 and it's been successful. We're contractor of choice for many organisations. There's no reason why we don't think we shouldn't be within a chance to get on those frameworks. But then alternatively, we can't put all our eggs in one basket. So we are talking to other organisations, and we've got work streams now that maybe we didn't have in the past that are working for us. So whether it's traffic signals, civils installation, technology works, lighting schemes, we've got plenty in the future to be able to get our teeth into. So there's no slowing down, I don't think, for Crown Highways over the next couple of years.
Astley Depot going double in size and Burntwood going double in size then? Again?
No, I don't. There's not much room at Burntwood to go any bigger than we already are. We could.
You got the street, haven't you?
Well, maybe we'll have to close the place next door. Maybe, I don't know. No plans. No more plans to grow in Burntwood just yet.
Do you have any sort of personal ambitions for, let's just say, the next 10 years? If we're working on this, sort of 10-year story that's emerged today, do you have any like real burning personal desires for achievement?
I'd just like to see the company continue on the trajectory that it's going. I want everybody that works for me to benefit as well. And I think if people continue to do what they're doing, working hard, just doing what they do, I just want to see the company continue to grow. I want to see the people within the business continue to grow, and I think just naturally that will happen. So I haven't got any personal goals other than to carry on, love doing what I'm doing, and continue to lead the company, and hopefully we'll just carry on that slow trajectory of growth, and that's it, really.
I can tell you like what you do. You smile a lot when you talk about work.
But you also know me that I smile quite a lot.
Fair. On people then, what is the makeup of the team at the minute? How does it look within Crown?
So the teams are pretty much standard where we've been for many years. They've just changed. So foundation-wise, Crown Highways, Crown Cutting Services that Steve started in '94. It was built on the inductive loop teams. Now the inductive loop teams are still there. We're still cutting loops. We still stay with the best of what we do in terms of how we do it. So we've reinvested in that team. We've given them new loop wagons, which have got their own purpose-built welfare units within there. We provide them better saws, all the best PPE they can have. We've got 6 crews out 5-6 nights a week. So it's still a big part of the business that we do. That links into the technology team. So where we're not installing inductive loops, we're also installing radar detectors. Just finished a large scheme in the southeast on the southeast motorway network to do over 300 installations of radar units. We're installing a lot of smart motorway technology, measured signs, AMIs, CCTV cameras. So technology team over the years, although we've started from a loop perspective, kind of grown into all the other technologies that are out there on the network. So National Highways have had a move to reduce their carbon footprint, and a large part of that is the LED retrofit scheme. So they're looking to reduce their carbon by 70%, to replace 70% of the lanterns on the motorway network over the next 10 years. We've done a lot of that within the Northwest and the Midlands. The teams are also now going to start doing that in Birmingham PFI contract as well. So there's a lot of conventional lighting schemes, but then the more futuristic stuff and replacing the LED heads. So it's a team and department that keeps growing year on year. And then finally, there's the civils team. Now, civils team are more locally based. We do more local authority work, and that team does anything from a cycleway scheme like we spoke about in the Walsall area, puts in lots of work within local communities, but we're also doing all of the civils infrastructure for traffic signal companies as well. So we've got big contracts in Derby and Lincolnshire at the moment as well. And these teams have grown. A few years ago, the civils department was struggling, so we rebuilt the department, we scaled it back, changed people. Can't change the people, change the people. And we've grown that team to a place now where it's really challenging technology and lighting to the turnover levels that those guys are on as well. So all 3 departments working fantastically well. And there's a good little bit of competition towards the operations managers about which departments are doing better and things like that. So it's great to have a little bit of competition within it as well. So, but they're all the departments are pretty good shape at the moment, and hopefully they'll continue to do that and be strong.
You actually mentioned this earlier, but we call the podcast The Extra Mile.
Yeah.
If I said to you, what does that mean to you? What does the extra mile mean to you? How would you answer that?
I'll go back again. One of my first jobs, I worked for Serco I was a young, thick and stupid YTS kid earning 50 quid a week, and I used to get paired up and go out with different engineers. And one guy I remember, I won't say his name, said to me he'd rather spend an extra 10 minutes on site than have to come back. So the extra mile for me is do it right first time. If you need to spend, it's not about doing the job as quickly as you can, so you get off site and you go home. It's about spending the time on site that you need to spend. If you need to spend a little bit more, spend a little bit more time. Do the job right. And there's just so many statistics about rework and the amount of money that it costs you, the safety implications of going back to a site twice, and all those kinds of things. I think if you went the extra mile and spent that little bit more time, then it would pay dividends.
Nice.